हेलो एवरीवन, हियर आई एम बैक अगेन विद द वीडियो ऑन द इंटरव्यू शॉर्ट्स, जहां मैं डिस्कस करूंगा माय पर्सनल इंटरव्यू एक्सपीरियंस एट एचपीसीएल। सो बहुत से ऐसे लोग होते हैं जिनको इंटरव्यू फोबिया होता है। तो लेट्स सी कि कैसे टैकल करते हैं, मेरे से क्या क्वेश्चंस पूछे गए थे, हाउ डिड आई आंसर देम एंड व्हाट शुड बी द अप्रोच। सो एट लास्ट वी आल्सो बी डिस्कसिंग द डूज एंड डोंट्स ड्यूरिंग द इंटरव्यू, and that all helped me to score on interview score of 8.5 out of 10. So let's begin without any delay. So the very first thing I would like to discuss here was the interview venue and the duration. So the HPCL का जो इंटरव्यू होता है और PI, जिसको PI बोलते हैं, और GT दोनों सेम डे होता है और ऑफलाइन मोड में होता है ये। तो इंटरव्यू ड्यूरेशन इस बार हमारा, इंटरव्यू वेन्यू इस बार हमारा मुंबई सेंटर था, और ड्यूरेशन ऑफ इंटरव्यू वाज अराउंड 30 minutes फॉर ईच एंड एवरी कैंडिडेट। सो मोर और लेस इट वाज अराउंड 30 minutes. कमिंग टू द ड्रेस कोड, जब हम लोग ड्रेस कोड की बात करते हैं तो यू शुड नॉट वरी दैट वेदर यू शुड wear tie or not, whether you should be in suit or not. So just be in the formal dress. A formals will work. Then there are few forms that are supposed to be filled before the interview process, on which the questions are also asked. So these forms include your personal behavior, to assess the personal behavior, like what are your strengths and weakness, why do you want to join the corporation, what are your future ambitions, so how do you see yourself down the lane. So these kind of questions are supposed to be filled just after the GT or before the interview process, and that paper is given to the interview panel, so they may ask you the questions regarding that. एंड नाउ कमिंग टू द क्वेश्चंस आस्क्ड, कि मेरे से क्या क्या क्वेश्चंस पूछे गए थे ड्यूरिंग द इंटरव्यू प्रोसेस। सो लेट्स सी द वन बाय वन। सो सबको ही सबसे पहले अपना इंट्रोडक्शन प्रिपेयर करके आते हैं कि लाइक आई शुड स्पीक दिस एंड विच इज द बेसिक इंट्रोडक्शन अबाउट योरसेल्फ। बट मेरे से स्टार्टिंग में इंट्रोडक्शन की जगह सीधे पूछा गया था कि नेम एंड फैमिली बैकग्राउंड, विच वाज काइंड ऑफ जनरल इंट्रोडक्शन. So I started telling my name and my family members' name. So they started to ask what does your father do, the occupation of my father and mother. And then they also inquired about my younger sister, like where did she study and what course she was pursuing. So all these kind of information, which comes under the category of general introduction, was asked by them. Then, as I told them that I was from college IIT Patna, so they were interested to know about the campus placements, whether the companies visited in my campus or not. So I very frankly told to them that yes, few companies visited in the core sector also, like for example L&T and Jindal Steel. So, and I sat in Jindal Steel but not in L&T. So they asked me what was the performance there. So I told them that I was eliminated in the GD round of JSW Steel Company. And they also asked me like why didn't you sit in L&T. Then I told them कि the work culture was the work life balance was L&T was not as good as reviewed by my seniors. So then they asked me like, what do you mean by this work life balance? So I told them that after doing all the works, we should have some time left to spend with our family members as well, because family is also important for us. So they told me that yes, that should be the case, and but work should be prioritized after all, everything is work. So this was the general introduction that was given by me. Then they asked me about my biggest achievement in the last 3 4 years or during the college life, basically. So basically, I have been an active student in my college time, and I participated in different contests. So the biggest achievement which I believe in the last 3 4 years was the winning the overall championship trophy in the Inter IIT Civil Conclave event that was organized by IIT Roorkee in the 2021. So our college and me and my team participated in different kind of events in that contest, and we won several medals and trophies in this contest with the overall championship trophy as well. So as soon as I told to them this, they asked me the kind of events and the nature of the events in the contest. So they were interested to know the type of events that were organized in that, whether it was in online or offline mode. So I told to them that the type of events included the structural design case studies, then the ONGC mess workers design. So we had to produce the design for mess kind of thing, and then steel structure design, and then a forest fire case study was also there. So in all these kind of events, we participated and we stood first in almost all of them. Then the next question came about my summer research internship. So I had done my summer research internship in the field of structural engineering at ISM Dhanbad in online mode. So they asked me what did I do in that. So I explained to them that I performed the vulnerability analysis of the plan asymmetric buildings. Now they asked me what was plan asymmetric building. So I explained to them that the building configurations such as O-shaped, then T-shaped are plan symmetric buildings. But the building configurations such as B-shaped or C-shaped, these are plan asymmetric buildings. And adding to this, they asked me that what did you do in them? So I told to them that the our IS codes, which contain the wind pressure coefficients on the different walls of the buildings, were for the symmetric configurations basically. So for asymmetric configurations, my research was focused on that. So they asked me only this kind of information regarding my summer research internship. Then they came on the next question, which was regarding my industrial internship in railway sleeper factory as a project trainee. So I had worked in Marwar, Rajasthan, in the railway sleeper factory as a project trainee. They asked me like, what did you see there? So I told to them that I got the opportunity to learn with the concrete technology, especially see the concrete technology lab experiments like cube casting, then cube testing, beam testing. So everything was discussed in detail with them. So then they asked me some of the technical questions regarding this, because the railway sleepers is somewhat, as soon as we hear the name, it comes general thing of pre-stressing comes to our mind. So they asked me the difference between the pre-stress concrete and post-stress concreting, and then they asked me the examples of both. So I told them that pre-stressing is used in railway sleeper factories, and post-stressing we can see in the bridges, highways, or ducts, where ducts are provided. Then they asked me what kind of grade was used in the railway sleeper. So I told them that I had worked with the M60 grade of concrete. So it comes under the category of high strength concrete. And then as soon as they heard this M60, they asked me what is 60 here. So I told them that it is the strength. But again they asked just what is 60 watt. So I was not able to understand it, and like what was they supposed to, what were they trying to ask? Then they asked me ki 60 unit. So then I told that yeah, it is 60 Newton per mm square or MPa. So this kind of technical questions was asked. Then also he further inquired ki what is the acceptable range of variation in the concrete design? Like you are supposed to cast M60 grade of concrete, but there are on-site variations. So what kind of variations do you accept? So I told them that there's term called standard deviation. So if the range lies between the mean strength plus minus standard deviation, then we accept that type of concrete. So I explained in this manner. Then one of the interview, I forgot to tell that the panel was of 8 members. So each and every member was asking different questions. So also I was inquired ki what was done with the scrap slippers during construction. So at this point, I felt stuck, because the time at which I was doing this internship, I was seeing that only the scrap sleepers which were rejected during the failure of the test. So they were kept as a lot in a separate place, but I was not interested in knowing ki what was supposed to be done with them. So at that point, it struck my mind that it can be used as recycled concrete, and I told to them that, in my opinion, it can be used as a recycled concrete again. So proceeding forward, so one more question was asked as soon as I entered the room after my general introduction. Ki, do you know any of the members in HPCL? Because the thing was ki when we were sitting outside the interview room waiting for our turn, so few of the members of working employees of HPCL were crossing from there, and they were inquiring us like why we were sitting here and what was going on and so on. So we were informing and discussing with them. So one of the panel member might have seen us interacting with them. So he asked me specifically, whom were you talking and what were you talking? So I was being observed from inside as well. So yeah, this thing I also noted, I was also observed by the interview members in the lobby. Now coming to the next question. The next question was on my BTech project. So BTech project or the previous work experience plays an important role, and most of the questions were discussed in detail with this BTech project. Why did you do your BTech project? Was it done in offline or online mode? And what was the need and the scope of the project that was supposed to be explained in detail? So I explained them my BTech project was related to the environmental engineering, in which I had worked on solar e-waste management. So what did I do? I had to assess the impact of the solar e-waste on the environment. So on different based on different parameters like the carcinogenic behavior, then the non-carcinogenic behavior, and leachate concentration. So each and everything was analyzed by me with regarding the BTech project, and these things were explained to them by me. So this was explained in detail, with detail, in front of them. Then they asked me, "Have you worked as a team ever? And have you faced any conflicts? So how did the conflicts arise?" So at first, I had already mentioned to them that yeah, I had participated and won the contest in the entire civil conclave as my team. So yes, I repeated the same thing that I have worked as a team. So then they asked me if I face any conflicts. So being in a team, it is very usual that we used to face conflicts. So they asked me to describe a case study, to describe a situation where did you face the conflict. So I told to them that in the end of my first year, we undertook a project related to the concrete design, related to the design of concrete canoe. So we had to build in that project. We had to build a concrete canoe that was supposed to be raised by one of the members, and that event was organized as a part of ASC student chapter at SRM IST Chennai. So in that project, the conflict situation arose when few of the members of our team started to leave the team. So during the casting of especially just before the casting of the content channel. So casting was a already tedious task, and then like, it required too much efforts. So then they asked me, how did the conflicts arise? So I explained the situation, and what was the reason of the conflict? They asked me. So I told them that they started to lose the interest in this kind of event. So they asked me why did they lose interest and why did they join initially. So I told them initially they joined because they trusted on me. I was a good student of my college, and whatever I took projects I take, and मैं जिस पे भी like काम करता हूँ, तो that is something beneficial and uh, good for us. So then they asked me so it means that they were influenced by your position, not by your words. So now at this stage, I told them that not only my position, I also like try to convince them that whatever we are doing, so that was supposed to be done for the college. Now we are working as a team, and it is not a matter of pride of our team only, that it is a matter of pride of the college as well, that we are doing for the first time such kind of activity. So in this way, I tried to resolve the conflict and bring one member back to our team. So they specifically asked me, what were the words used by you at that instant? So they were checking, like everyone could have a leadership kind of quality and so on. But they asked me specifically, what words did I use at that instant? So I told to them that yes, these were the words. Like when I tried to convince them by telling that yes, we are working as a team, and we are working as a matter of pride, not only for our team as well as for our college. And it would be a kind of some unique work that we will be doing as a team in our college. So this was all about my teamwork and this project. It was a project Black Pearl, which was concrete canoe contest. And if you're interested to know this, what the concrete canoe contest is, so you can see a YouTube video. I have put the link which we have made after the contest, so you can have a look after that. I will also keep it in the description box. Next, the question was asked to me regarding the UNICEF project. So it was a project in which we had to design the community sanitary complex design for the workers in the rural areas of Bihar. So it was organized by government of Bihar in association with UNICEF, in which we produced a design, eco-friendly design, and the question was asked, what innovative step did you include? So they asked me मैंने कैसे कैसे इसको कवर अप किया था. तो इनोवेटिव स्टेप्स मैंने बताया like we produce a net zero consumption building and net zero energy consumption building, and then we use solar panels, we use the special type of roofs. So these things I told to them as a part of answer of this question. Then they asked me the question on my hobbies. And before this, if any of my junior IT partner is especially seeing this video, then I must tell you that these questions were asked because I had mentioned this in my resume. So if you feel that only PORs, only position of responsibilities play an important role, then it's absolutely not, because PORs matters, position of responsibilities matter. But the more you work, the more you express yourself, you will get an opportunity to speak this, you will get an opportunity to broaden your knowledge. So do participate and must participate in such contests which are organized with time. Then the next question was raised on my hobbies. So two hobbies I mentioned in my portfolio. It was cryptic crossword, solving cryptic crossword, and badminton. So I had won the nationals. We were among the finalists. So among the top six teams that were qualified for the national levels in cryptic crossword. So they asked me what is the difference between cryptic crossword and the simple crossword. So I told to them the difference, like simple crosswords in which we have to determine the clue directly from the determine the word from directly from the clue. But cryptic crossword is somewhat different. Here the clues are given in a different manner. So I explained these things with them. Then few of the questions that were not asked to me directly, but were asked to the other my friends. So they were asked like, why do you want to join HPCL? And explanation of three words that describe you. So they had already asked for three words which we feel that describe ourselves. So I had mentioned that I had been patient, innovative, and friendly. So I was not asked this question, but my friends were asked to describe the situation from which you feel that you are so and so, and the description on the strength and weakness. So these questions were not asked directly from me, but my with my friends. Then the question came on the native base. So one of the panel member asked, ki, if you are given the opportunity, so what infrastructure development would you suggest in your region as a civil engineer? So I just thought for a second, and then I told that the roads in my region and the roads which we design in a highway engineering as a part of a study. So we see the difference that whatever we design the roads, we see keep a tentative life of roads as around 15-20 years. But whatever the roads are constructed in my areas, they could hardly even last for 6 to 7 years. So I told them that to improve the quality of the materials that are used, proper supervision is required. So told this point, and then in the field of education, I suggested, like I had been a student of Magad Super 30 at Gaya for 10 days, around 10 days. So, but because I was not satisfied with the living conditions there, so I saw the struggle the students were doing there. So I thought to contribute to the development of the infrastructure, proper infrastructure for such organizations. So these things I told to them as a part of my answer. And then the concluding question, which I liked the most, was one of the interview member asked that efficiency of a team leader decreases if he or she works as a team member. So what is your opinion? Because I have already worked as a team leader, so do you think so? So I did not agree on this statement at first. So she told me, why don't you agree on this? So I told them properly, yes, if the team leader is good and efficient enough, then he can produce his output as a team member as well. We should not think of कि team leader work कर रहा है या team member work कर रहा है, because we are working whole as a team. So if efficiency of team leader is kept same as of team member as well, then it will lead to the overall growth of the team and its development as well. So I concluded in this way by my answers, and they seem quite satisfied with this. So at last, coming to the do's and don'ts of the interview. So at first, you should have confidence in yourself that yes, you are going to attend the interview. You are among the top listed candidates who are selected for the interview process. So you should have confidence at first. And do not hesitate while speaking. So at first, you should prepare your introduction and other things beforehand so that you can practice in front of mirror as well. So you should check that you are not hesitating anytime while speaking. And then second important point is express your opinions freely in the language of your comfort, whether it is English or Hindi. So at that point, I felt that I was equally comfortable in English and Hindi as well, but my fluency and other things are better in English. So I felt कि जब मैं हिंदी में बोलता हूँ, then I am not able to express myself to my fullest. So the concern is you should be able to express yourself to the fullest. It should not be that some words are not coming out of your mind at that instant. So this thing you should take care of. And then do not boast of. do not lie at any place. Do not say whatever the thing is, just tell them. Like I was limited in the GT round of JSW Steel, as I mentioned earlier. So I properly frankly told to them that yes, I was eliminated there, and they asked me the they did not they understood my situation as well. So they agreed as well. And then you should not you should not boast of at any place, because they will catch you there. And keep calm and carry on. So do not worry much about it. And one more important thing, that your interview performance also judges the posting upon your selection. So the department in which you will be posted, that is already being judged during the interview process. The interview members, panel members, are already expert in these things. So based on the interview, based on the personal behavior, they will analyze and they will suggest the department to which you should be posted. So these are all the things about my interview process. If you feel any doubt, any difficulty in handling the interview process, then please feel free to drop me at any of these places. These are my Facebook, Insta, and WhatsApp handles. So thank you for watching. If you like the video, then do like and subscribe. And if you need any more video or any more information, or how is my posting and other posting details and the other post selection process, like what induction program goes on in HPCL and other details. So just drop a comment. I will try to make a video as soon as possible. Thank you once again. Thanks.